Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. No, that's your turn. Good afternoon, everybody. There we go. There we go. Thank you so very much. We are so happy to be back in Raleigh, back here in North Carolina. We have been doing a bit of a North Carolina tour of sorts. All last week we spent a week in Cullowhee, I hear. It's the way my uncle said, Cullowhee, and and at Western Carolina State University. And then we came over and did some concerts in Charlotte yesterday. We're here today, going up to Cary and over to Winston-Salem, North Carolina School for the Arts. So we love North Carolina. North Carolina loves us. We're very, very happy to be here. Thank you. Let's see, look, a couple more pieces of housekeeping before we talk about the music that we're playing today. Speaking of loving North Carolina, it's a home state for me of sorts. Not from here directly, but my people are from here, and my people are out there somewhere. Are they there? Are they? My uncle, my aunt, my cousins are here, and so I thank them for coming from Fuquay. We got Fuquay Marina in the house for sure. We've got Kevin's mom, who came from the border town of Danville, Virginia. She's somewhere. There's mom. So again, we're so pleased to be here to fellowship with you, our family and friends, and we thank Kane Regan of Chamber Music Raleigh for making these concerts happen here and in the general area. So this music is very important to us and means quite a bit because it's a statement to what Imani Wins has been doing now for 26 years. We're in our 26th season as an ensemble, and that is bringing chamber music, wind chamber music from diverse composers, diverse cultures, bringing them to the masses, if you will. And so our programs, we really think about what kind of message they are telling. So today's program will feature music completely by Black and brown composers. So the first piece you just heard was entitled Titi Layo. It was by our dear friend Jeff Scott, who was the former horn player of Imani Wins, and now is gone on to teaching and doing some incredible things compositionally. And the title Titi Layo is a woman that he met one day, and the title of the piece kind of relates to the style of the piece, which was a call and response, an African song form. And I think the story is that he called out to her, but she did not respond. So, so he wrote a song about her. And then he said, I'll show you. But anyway, that is a really fun one to start out with. The next piece on the program is by the Indian American amazing composer Rina Esmail. She is a brilliant young composer, and we were able to work with her on this piece. It ended up on her Grammy-nominated record from last year. Thank you. And this work is called The Light is the Same. Rina decided to use her Indian heritage, the deep, deep tradition of Indian classical music, for this work and for much of her works. You'll hear various what they call rags or scales that are throughout the piece, and it finishes with this really lively dance. It's a really fun one for us to play. And the title references to a period of time a few years ago when our country was going through some turmoil politically. It could have been yesterday, honestly. It might be tomorrow. But going through a particular tumultuous time, and she decided to think about this and say, well, guess what? We are more alike than we are different. And that's really the theme of it. When we look up at the night sky, the stars that we see, and the skies and the moons and the planets, at the end of the day, the light is the same. And so that's the message she wants to relay with this piece, and we hope will translate to you today. So please enjoy, and thank you again for coming out.
That piece is so much fun to play, from beginning to end, so much beautiful music. The next piece on the program is by famed Cuban-born, Cuban-American composer extraordinaire Paquito de Rivera. And he is extremely important to wind writing, the wind quintet, all wind writing in general. He's an amazing saxophonist and clarinetist, and he's written so many amazing wind quintets, and is really a champion for writing for wind instruments in all genres of music. This piece, Aires Tropicalis, or Tropical Airs, is a piece that seeks to encapsulate many of the musical styles that are innate to his homeland of Cuba. Something that's really poignant that happens in this piece, that's pertinent to this program, Black and Brown, is that it highlights a lot of the music that came to Cuba from Africa through the transatlantic slave trade. In this piece, we have these little vignettes that take little pieces of a type of music and say, this is what this is, this is what this is. And then there's two movements that sort of deviate from this pattern. There's a Venezuelan waltz in the middle that's dedicated to Antonio Lauro. And there's also a movement called Dizziness, which is dedicated to his dear friend Dizzy Gillespie. And I think you'll recognize a lot of the tunes that happen in that particular movement. And speaking of this transatlantic musical progression, there's a particular tune that's used in the Afro movement, the second to last movement, that features a song that comes from Nigeria. And if Toyin would be so kind, I would love if she would sing that song for us so you can understand the source material.
Angolona, yale, Angolona, yale, yale, yanuma wo, yale, omi yale, ayaba omi o.
And that's why I have her sing it. Aires Tropicalis by Paquito de Rivera.
So, and then there were three of us. The next piece on the program is a trio that was written by the great Valerie Coleman, flutist, composer extraordinaire, and the founder of Imani Winds. This trio was written around 2012 to be performed at a music venue on the Lower East Side in New York City called Drum. Now, this venue is a place where contemporary music concerts happen, composers premiere new works. So she thought in this work she would try to channel some of that grit and energy of the Lower East Side into this music, one movement which in fact is entitled Drum. You'll hear that kind of energy in the opening and closing movement, and in the middle, we take a trip to northern Manhattan for a lullaby that Valerie dedicated to her beautiful daughter, Lisa. So I hope you enjoy Rubispheres by Valerie Coleman. Thank you.
us need a break now. Maybe you guys can play some duo for a few minutes. That's a lot of fun. The next piece on the program, Terra Incognita, by the legendary Wayne Shorter, is a piece that I think really kind of, in a way, defines what Imani Lins has always been about, always kind of searching, looking forward to the next big thing, and championing composers of color, and also just composers who have kind of, made a real impact on the music. And few people have done that to the degree of Mr. Shorter. Those of you might know him, he's most famous early on as the saxophonist of the Miles Davis quartet, and really kind of contributed to that songbook, and then went off on his own and did things like Weather Report, worked with Joni Mitchell, all these amazing people. But all that time, he was actually writing concert music, and a lot of people don't know that. And I'm sure there's many things that he has put to pen that have never made it past his own archives. But in 2007, the group was so fortunate to be able to commission him to write this work that you're going to hear. And for me, on a personal note, it was actually the first time I ever heard Imani Lins perform in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where I was attending undergrad. I saw them come with Wayne and his quartet. They played this piece, and I remember thinking, how is that? How can I do something like that? And it's an amazing work, but Wayne is of course an incredible improviser, and you definitely hear that in this piece. It oftentimes sounds improvised to a degree, although the piece itself was really written, it was through composed, and every note was written down. So about 95% of this piece is just playing note for note what he wrote in terms of the melodic and harmonic language that you hear. There is a moment in the end where we do kind of improvise a little bit. You'll probably notice where that is. But one interesting thing about the piece is that when Imani had the chance to play it for him before they premiered it, they played the piece for him, and he sat there and he said, they finished, and he said, well, it sounds really good, but you don't have to start from the beginning. You could start from the end and play to the beginning. You could start from the middle. So he was such an open-minded composer, and it was, I think, one of the great joys of the group's career so far to work with him. Terra Incognita, or Uncharted Territory by Wayne Shorter. Thank you.
thank you very, very much. And thank you for coming out this afternoon and spending your afternoon with us here in this beautiful art museum. I hope before we move on to the next place we go, we have a moment to look around. We just came in, we snuck in, we haven't looked around, but it looks like it's a really amazing place. And if they're putting on concerts like this with the help of Kane and the people here at the Chamber Music Raleigh, then this is just the right place to be on a Sunday afternoon. So thank you. I would be remiss, we shouted out people, but there's one more person who's not shouted out, and that's the important person that I know is here for sure, and that is Mark's teacher, his clarinet teacher, who, and teachers are our chosen family. My teacher, oboe teacher, is here in the Raleigh-Durham area too, so I don't think he's here, but I'm shouting him out anyway, because he gets mad if I don't talk about him. So, there, you shouted out Joe Robinson. So thank you for the teachers who taught us to play. So we do this all year long. We play concerts. We commission new works. We have a chamber music festival for any college students in the audience here that happens at Juilliard this year. We're doing it at Juilliard. Where we talk about chamber music, we coach. We talk about the business of chamber music and being a musician, and we talk about activism. What do you do? How do you make a difference while you're playing an oboe? We talk about that kind of stuff. So if there are any students in the audience, then please check out ImaniWinsFestival.com, and if you want to help us out a lot, you go to ImaniWins.com and you do two things. You see where else we're playing in the country, and you tell your nephew or your sister or your great aunt to come out and see our performances. That's number one. Number two, we're trying to get outside of just being a wind quintet. 26 years, right? How do you keep expanding? How do you keep growing? And so we have a lot of initiatives that are outside of just the five of us, including a record label that we're starting. So if you would like to help us build these new initiatives, then please consider donating, and you can hear more about that and how you can stay in contact with us at ImaniWins.com. So all of that is information you can get there. So on to the last piece of the program. We saw out there, this is so appropriate for this, you're going to know why they're chuckling right now. So the piece is by a wonderful composer from Brazil named Julio Medaglia, and he happened to have a wonderful relationship with a wonderful wind quintet. You may have heard of them, the Berlin Philharmonic Wind Quintet. They're all right, they're okay. We got them now. But, so that's how we like to grow music, is by relationships like that Terra Incognita you just heard. And they built up a relationship with Julio Medaglia. This is the second piece he wrote for them, and it's called Suite Belle Époque, which means Suite of the Good Life. And that first movement is called El Porsche Negro, which means the black Porsche. Did you all see the black Porsche in the entrance? This is perfect. We're so excited. We didn't know. So that movement is a tango, a nice, fun, sultry tango. The second movement is a flurry of a waltz that has a lot of drama. They say in Latin America that the best telenovelas, the best soap operas are from Brazil. And so I think this is a definite soap opera piece, the second one, the waltz. And finally, we end with Requinta Maluca, which features the E-flat clarinet that Mark is probably nervous about playing in front of his teacher, so I'm just gonna make it worse for him now, just because. But it's a marvelous movement that really shows off his virtuosity as a player. So I'm so pleased to be here, and thank you again to Chamber Music Raleigh for bringing us around. They really hold down the fort for this area, really, and it's an amazing organization, so we're proud to be on the schedule this year, and we hope you enjoy this final piece, Suite Belle Époque by Giulio Medaglia. Thank you.